So it seems Sony's working on some brand new PlayStation 5 hardware. We're going to talk about exactly what it is and what that means. And also, the Final Fantasy VII stream is going to be later today, the event, the presentation, whatever you'd like to call it. And ahead of its time, the Snitch is back at it on Twitter, tweeting some very cryptic stuff that could signify some pretty interesting announcements. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. If you guys are new, be sure to subscribe for more gaming content. We talk about the games and play the games here on the channel. Thank you guys, by the way, for all the support lately and whatnot. It's really been a blast bringing you guys all this content. If you're into Nintendo content, by the way, check out the link in the description below where I cover Nintendo content on a different channel. But we're not gonna waste any time. We're gonna jump straight into this. If you enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, helps out the channel. So what am I talking about with the Snitch, right, on Twitter? If you don't know, seems to be a very reliable kind of leaker as of late, really nailing it with a lot of different things ahead of time, ahead of actual reveals and presentations. This time, it tweeted out the following. I'll throw it up on the screen. You guys can take a look. So there's a picture. Now, this picture is technically from Final Fantasy VII Remake, Part 1. And there's a blue square, a green square, a red square, and a smaller black square. I don't know why the black square is smaller, but anyways, this seems to indicate PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and I guess the black would signify PC, I'm assuming. Now, some people are like, well, because this is a screenshot from Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1, this must be regarding the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 or something, right? Not necessarily, because there's two things to consider here. Number one, Final Fantasy VII Remake is way too crazy to come to Switch. I mean, I guess they could do a cloud version, technically speaking. But what this seems to more indicate, because we are seeing Zack in this image, it seems to be more of a teaser towards Crisis Core, like remake or remaster, that will be coming to all consoles, all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, even Nintendo Switch. I guess the black square is indicate PC. The interesting thing is, I don't know. I could be reading too much into this. The black square is smaller. Maybe that indicates that this is from a past platform, indicating maybe the Vita or something. I don't think it's that. I think the black square is smaller just because it's smaller. I think that's just how it is. I don't know. I never put colored squares in anything text format, so yeah. But the point being is that I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident it has to do with Crisis Core. Again, I could be wrong, but it seems to be that's what the Snitch is hinting at. And Crisis Core technically is Final Fantasy VII related, and they did say we're gonna have some pretty exciting announcements. So I don't know. All that to say, I think that I think we could potentially be seeing a Crisis Core remake or remaster announced later today, but we'll find out later. So I'm definitely going to be reacting to it, so stay tuned for that and all that good stuff. All right, so moving on from that, we're not going to waste too much time on that. Let's go to the PlayStation hardware thing, because you're probably wondering, what on earth are you talking about? Well, apparently, according to multiple reports, Sony is apparently working on a brand new piece of hardware for the PlayStation 5. This comes from Try Hard Guides. I'll throw it up on screen, you guys can see. So Sony is apparently working on a genuine professional controller. Think in terms of scuff, right? Or kind of like how the Xbox Elite controller for the PlayStation 5, and the company will apparently reveal the new hardware in the coming weeks, these sources have claimed. So probably by the end of June is what it sounds like. It's believed that the codename of the controller is Hunt, which will have several interesting features, including removable analog sticks, trigger stops, and rear buttons like flappy paddles, they say. These claims of such hardware came alongside pictures of the alleged prototype, which has been sent under the condition that the pictures are not published and the source remains anonymous. Moving on from that, they said that according to the same source, it's also been said that the PS5 controller, which was referred to as the PS5 Pro controller in casual conversation, will have significant software upgrades. It's unclear when exactly the new controller will be revealed, with the source simply saying it should be soon. However, it is understood by several sources that Sony is set to unveil several new bits of hardware by the end of this month. Not a new console, but it's unclear whether or not the lineup will reveal this new controller, end quote. So definitely interesting stuff there. Again, this sounds like a controller that's more along the lines of a SCUF controller or the Xbox Elite controller, which sounds very interesting. Now, the thing is, right, in Canada, the normal PS5 controller is like 90 bucks, almost 100 bucks. After you factor in taxes, depending on which province you live in Canada, it's pretty much 100 bucks on the dot. Now, with that said, this quote unquote, pro controller, at least for us Canadians and even Americans, is going to probably be pretty pricey. It's probably going to be close to, like, I don't know, man, like, my guess is at least 200 bucks. I would hope to see a cheaper price point, like if it was just like 50 bucks more than, the base controller, like 50 bucks more would be, maybe like 130 bucks US, 150 bucks Canadian. That would seem more reasonable and more accessible for a lot of people. That's one reason I've never bought the, Xbox Elite controller, because it goes for like 200 and something bucks plus tax. After all that, you're getting close to 300 bucks for a controller, which at that point, I mean, I could buy like a Nintendo Switch Lite for the same price. A whole console. So again, I mean, I get, like, it's typically catered more towards, I guess, hardcore pro gamers, but at the same time, it's not really. I mean, that's kind of what SCUF was for hardcore competitive players. And the idea with the Xbox Elite controller and whatever this will be for PlayStation should be that, it helps kind of be more accessible to have these kind of, modifications with a more accessible price point than something like a SCUF, for example, which is more pricey. So I don't know. I have no idea, how this could be priced. I hope it's priced reasonably. Again, it's kind of interesting. They also said that there's going to be, software improvements as well. Excuse me. And with that said, if there's significant software upgrades, does that mean we can just update our current PS5 controllers to also have these software upgrades? I don't know. That's a good question. Also interesting that, Sony is set to unveil several new bits of hardware by the end of the month, not just this Pro controller. Again, no new console, but what else could they be revealing? Again, your guess is as good as mine, but very intriguing to say the very least. I'm really excited to see, what on earth they could end up announcing and showcasing. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think this price point should be? What would be a reasonable price point for you that you'd purchase it at, and what would be kind of your limit? I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments, and also what you think this other hardware could be. So whenever we get an official announcement, I'll definitely be first to let you guys know here on the channel. So keep it locked. Be sure to subscribe for more content, like I said. And that's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Till then, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.